Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blue Stable Podcast. It is I, once again, Michael Pevia. Joined by me is Landon Oliver, and this time we got Marcus Culture Shot coming in. Marcus, how you doing, man? We missed you on the last interview. Not gonna lie, it was pretty fun, but we have another really good prospect we're about to introduce to everybody. But first, Marcus, grace us with your presence, man.
Hey, man, it's good to be back with you guys. I know I missed the last one, but I knew you guys hold it out for sure. But, busy man, always working, so the grind don't stop. But it's good to be here, especially with the guests we got today, so I'm excited.
Hey, man, this guy knows all about the grind. He knows all about not sleeping, not resting or anything. He works hard. He's working hard. Eric Gray, running back from Oklahoma. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys. I'm happy to be here.
Man, I know we were talking before we started recording here a little bit, but guys, once Eric starts talking here, you're gonna see some a nice earring on him. Man. I've been watching some of his interviews. This man has different earrings on every time, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, that's looking pretty nice. Oklahoma was hooking it up for you there. But man, first off, just your idea. If you like jewelry, I would like to think you like fashion, right? You're a big fashion guy.
Big fashion guy.
Just pop question right here. Pop quiz. You get invited to the Met Gala. What's your go-to outfit?
Ooh, he said the Met Gala.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna wear something crazy. Like everybody gonna have on I feel like everybody gonna have on Louis Vuitton. Everybody gonna have on Gucci. So you got to think outside the box. You got to go with something like. Like I might pull up in a mink coat. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you gotta have DJ Khaled by his side.
You know what I'm saying? Gala ball, like you gotta go crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta get in touch with the people that dress Lady Gaga for some of that. So, like
she
wears some crazy stuff, bro.
You gotta go crazy.
If you're talking about a mink coat, you got to get in touch with DJ Khaled. That's the guy that wears all the fur.
Bro, that fur gonna look crazy on that little red carpet though.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll be watching because a lot of it is just going up, showing and take pictures, show off the designs and everything, and whatever happens after that, no one ever hears about. But that's a big thing. So I wanted to ask you. I assume you're a big fashion guy and everything. I think if someone saw you at the Met Gala, they wouldn't think that you're headed to the NFL, huh?
Right.
Everybody's a musician. Can you sing?
No, I'm not a singer. I can dance a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but not a big singer.
Okay, Trey Songz. Okay. I see it. I see you.
Now I'm curious though. Now I'm curious because like I gotta know what he's pulling out for the NFL draft now because everybody comes ready to go there. Yep. I'm gonna be watching.
It's in the works. I got some good plans. You just gotta have to wait and see, but I got some good plans.
Okay.
That's awesome. What you doing for the NFL draft? Are you gonna be there or are you gonna have a watch party? Anything special going on?
I haven't decided. I'm deciding between whether I want to go to Kansas City or whether I want to have a draft party. I haven't decided yet.
Kansas City, city of champions, huh? Golly. Anyways, guys, Eric Gray joining the show, running back from Oklahoma. He tore it up this season for the Sooners. 2022 second team All Big 12 selection, 1,366 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns, and something big we like in the NFL, especially as Colts fans, Jesus, 0 fumbles. 0 fumbles. I mean, 10 fumbles from Matt Ryan, 5 from Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I might be exaggerating on the Matt Ryan. Maybe not. Landon, help me out. We like to see that number. 0 fumbles. We like that, Eric. We like that. So I want to ask that, man. What attributes to that no fumble thing? I assume you take great pride in that. How do you work on, just protecting the rock?
I mean, I think it starts with, if you go in our meeting room in Oklahoma, we got a big thing that says ball security is job security. So it's really taking that to heart and knowing that that ball is everything. When they give you that ball, they're entrusting the entire organization into you by giving you that ball. So you got to be able to guard that thing with your life every time you run with it.
Hey, man, just so you know, I'm a TCU fan. I'm texting that to the coaching staff right now. I ain't that famous, man. I ain't got their freaking number. But anyways, that's good stuff. So my first question I wanted to get off, and then we'll move to Landon. My first question I want to get off to you, man. I assume I've studied up on you a little bit here in the last month, and you've shocked me a little bit. I am, I watch the Big 12 regularly, watching you play, but watching your interviews, man, you're very great. You're really great spoken. Even talking to you now, highly educated, really great spoken. And we're going to get into some of your leadership here in a little bit, but if there's one area of your life, whether if it's on or off the field, one area, just to understand Eric Gray a little bit more, one area of your life that you take great pride in, what would that be?
I would say I'm a perfectionist. So knowing where I'm supposed to be and trying to my best to do everything right. When you talk about education, my dad was a high school coach, me growing up, and he coached a lot of talented players. And I used to ask him all the time, like, where are these guys going to college? Because I know they're going to go somewhere big. He would say they have no grades. So I learned at a young age that no matter how good I was on the field, I had to be as good off the field. I had to be as good in the classroom. So I took pride in being good in the classroom so one day I could get that scholarship to play at the next level.
Yeah, and speaking of scholarship, so you're from the Memphis area. You played at Tennessee, your first couple seasons. Mm-hmm. How hard was that, to leave home and go to Oklahoma and transfer?
It was a different time at that time. Me and my family, it was hard to choose. It was hard to choose whether to stay or to go. At Tennessee at the time, I felt like I didn't know the future of the program a little bit. We were kind of left in the dark. It was COVID at the time. So we were kind of left in the dark. They kind of took a while to hire the new coach. It was hard to leave just because, but if you look at it, Oklahoma is kind of the same drive from Memphis because Memphis to Knoxville is going one way and Memphis to Oklahoma is going the other way. It's kind of the same drive, just going in different directions. So I felt like it wasn't as bad as a transition as I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, with the transition and, playing football pretty much all your life, there's always that one person that everyone can go to and be like, this person pushed me the most to make this dream possible. Who was that one person for you that made it seem like that just keeps pushing you no matter what?
First it was my parents, of course, my mom and my dad, of course. But I would say a guy that really took my game to the next level was my position coach, Jay Graham at Tennessee. Coach Graham kind of took my game from a high school running back and developed me into a college running back. He really broke down the game to me and taught me about just every nuance of the game, whether it was how far the hash is from the sideline, how far angles are when you're running, when you're cutting, different ways to just think about football. He really broke the game down for me and allowed me to be the back that I am today.
Ooh, okay. I'm over here just taking notes over here. Where are you at in your preparation, man, ahead of the NFL draft, the combine, pro days, very important days coming up? Where are you at in your preparation with that? What you working on currently?
I'm training out here in Exos Frisco. I think we've been at it since December, and I think we've done some great things. Just learning about the 40 and how to run it, learning about the short shuttle, the L drill, bench press, all of those different things. I think I've been around a great group of guys that's really pushed me, and we compete every day, and competition breeds success. All of us have competed at a high level, and we're at a great position looking at where we're 2 weeks out from the combine. So I'm definitely excited for it.
For sure. And so part of your preparation too was getting into the Senior Bowl. Marcus and I were there. We got to see you put on a show. You did a fantastic job, even winning the running back practice player of the week while you were down there. Yep. What did that mean to you to get that award?
It meant a lot. I didn't know we were going to do the awards, but when I looked at my schedule and I found out, I was like, I got to get that MVP. And it meant more because it was voted by the players that I went against all week. That's what meant so much to me, because to be able to get voted as the best player by the guys you're going against, by the guys you might have beat in a rep. They voted and say, well, he was the best player I went against. That meant a lot, because you say being able to be voted as best by your peers, by the guys who they say are the best in the country, it was very meaningful for me.
And overall, surrounded by a bunch of talent down there in Mobile. The weather was good, by the way. I just want to add that in. We enjoyed the weather until the last day, but There was so many people out there, good talent, good coaches. We've seen Tomlin, we've seen Eberflus out there. How was your overall experience at the Senior Bowl?
I think the Senior Bowl was a great experience for me. I wanted to go down to the Senior Bowl and show all the NFL coaches who Eric Gray was. I wanted to show that Eric Gray can do it all. Eric Gray can do it all and be a great added bonus to your offense, can really take your offense to another level. And I felt like I went down there and I did that.
One part of your game I came interested in, especially with every running back, is your ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Your offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, Jeff Levy, he made it a priority to get the ball into Eric Gray's hands. I need to get the ball in this guy's hands, whether it's handing it off or passing it. And you got the ball quite a lot. Catching the ball out of the backfield is a very modern way of the running back game. You know, back then, running backs didn't necessarily have to catch the ball, but now, if you ain't catching it, returning kicks, or whatever the case may be, hard for a running back. For you, it seems like it's just it's easy for you. I mean, you have hands and you catch with your hands. That's also very big. Right. Catching the ball out of the backfield, that's big for you. Do you feel comfortable lining up if you get to the NFL, lining up in the slot or catching the ball out of the backfield?
Most definitely. I think if you look at the game now, you look at Christian McCaffrey, you look at Alvin Kamara, you look at those guys, they're catching the ball out of the backfield. That's what allows their offense to be so explosive, because that's another guy the defense has to guard. I think if you look at the running back in today's game, that's what it's going to. A guy who is my skill set, who can catch out of the backfield, who can also run in between the tackles, run outside zone, but also catching out of the backfield is an added bonus. It's another guy that the defense have to cover. So I definitely think that's where the game is going for sure. That's where the game is.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like even at the college level for you, it was like that. So I want to take you back a little bit earlier in the season. You guys are 3-3. You're going up to Kansas. They're top 20 ranked team. You guys know you need a win. You come out, put on one of your best performances of your career, going for almost 200 yards and multiple touchdowns in that game. What was your mentality going into that game?
So before coming off that third loss, that was kind of our third straight loss before that game. And our message to the guys were, let's turn this season around. Let's kind of stop the skid a little bit and let's turn this season around. We had a bye week after Kansas. And the message the entire week was, we don't want to go into this bye week sad or upset because of a loss. Let's go into this bye week happy. Let's regenerate our bodies and get ready for the back half of this season. And we also had the new jerseys on. We had the gray jerseys on. We told everybody all week we weren't losing in these new jerseys, because they were like, well, let's not wear them, because if we lose, then we'll never wear them again. I was like, if we lose, like, we can't be thinking like that. Like, let's go put on these jerseys and let's go beat Kansas, a top 20 team at the time. And it was a great feeling for everyone.
And obviously, you mentioned earlier with your talent and Christian McCaffrey and the skill set that you have. You know, there's one question that we got to ask, especially, who was some running backs that you enjoyed watching growing up, if you don't mind sharing?
So my dad is a guru with sports, period, like a guru. So I've watched all the way back to somebody like Gale Sayers. I've watched Gale Sayers' old tapes. I've watched Walter Payton and the power and the tenacity that he ran with, the toughness. You look at Emmitt Smith and his ability to bounce off of tackles and the balance that he ran with. You look at Barry and his able to make people miss and his cut to speed ratio. You look at Christian McCaffrey now, his route running ability. You look at the patience that Alvin Kamara runs with. Just those different guys. I've watched everyone to try to steal something from their game and put it into mine.
Go back to last spring, right? Mm-hmm. Last spring, pull back the curtain a little bit at Oklahoma. Not necessarily, I don't want to get into what the program was like. I want to know about you and how you handled everything with Lincoln Riley leaving. The program is shattered. Emotions are high. I want to know, how did you handle that? How did you rally everybody together? Not just everybody, but how did you keep yourself balanced? How did you keep yourself motivated? This is the right thing to do. Got to do things this way. And what was that process like for you?
So at that time for me, I felt like I wanted this season to be the season that I wanted. Like, I wanted this season to be my last season in college. I wanted to go out with a bang and for this to be my last season. So every day I woke up like, I'm going to go and give it 110%, because I want this season at the end of, when we get to December, I want to be able to have no regrets and say, I put on the show. I want to be able to say that college football, NFL coach, they know who Eric Gray is now. I wanted to be able to do that. So my mindset every day was going out there and dominating every single day and bringing those guys with me, because I knew I was going to need those guys in order to be successful.
Yeah, I think you definitely did that this year. This was such an explosive season for you. 1,600 yards from scrimmage, 11 touchdowns. So now following that up, you're leaving on a high note. Now you're kind of starting at the beginning as a rookie in the NFL. What are some of the personal goals you have for your rookie season?
So I set high goals for myself every year. I set extremely high goals for myself, and I go get them. So for my first year, of course, make a big impact on a team. Like be that added bonus that I'm talking about, a reason that a team wins. Offensive rookie of the year, and of course, every year, every team is to win the Super Bowl. So those are my goals for my rookie year. Definitely offensive rookie player of the year, and then win that Super Bowl.
I know you set high standards for yourself and expectations and everything, but if there was a few things that you could work out to prepare yourself to be even better to going into the NFL, what was those things that you think needs a little bit of adjustments to help yourself?
You're playing a bigger, faster game. You're playing with guys who've been there a long time. So it's a different game. It's a different game. So when you get there, just learning every day, maybe hanging on to one of those vets a little bit and letting him just help you a little bit. Help you and say, well, whether it's on or off the field, just helping you do a lot of things. That's what I'm really interested in. Hanging on to kind of getting under one of those vets' wings and letting him teach me a little bit is what I'm looking forward to.
How do you carry yourself amongst your peers? Like at Oklahoma, there's always going to be championship expectations, regardless of what league Oklahoma is going to be in. Championships, nothing less, nothing more, nothing less, right? Championships. This year wasn't exactly the year that you guys wanted. It was a little bit of a rebuild, still figuring it out. It could be the same thing in the NFL. It's every team is going to walk into training camp Super Bowl this year. Right. You may go to a team who is prestigious in the Super Bowl, but sometimes those things don't always go the way you envision them. Your leadership, how do you carry yourself amongst your peers, amongst your teammates, especially things like this year, frustrating losses, sometimes boneheaded mistakes or anything that can lead to those losses. How do you carry yourself in leading a program and eventually an organization?
I'm big on leading by example. That is my leadership style. It's always been a lot of people always tell me that I was born to lead. I kind of have that natural leadership style, but I've never really been a rah-rah vocal guy. This year we had a lot of younger guys on the team, a lot of guys who hadn't been on the team, a lot of younger guys in the running back room. So I tried to be more vocal, but my most comfortable leadership style is leading by example because I'm going to make sure I know what to do. I'm not going to go out there and not know what's going on. I'm going to study all night. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I know what I'm doing so I can be the best I possibly can be.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. And this is a really simple question. What are teams getting when they draft Eric Gray?
You're getting a guy who's going to give 110% every day. You don't have to worry about him. You don't have to motivate him because he's self-motivated. He's highly self-motivated. He wants to be the best to ever play. He wants to be the greatest to ever play. So every single day, he's going to be working towards that goal. He's going to go out there and do everything he can. So when he's done playing, he has no regrets and he can be able to say he's the greatest to ever play.
I heard you say that you was self-motivated, so I got to know. You said you was a dancer earlier, too. So what's that pregame song that you listen to turn you up before them games?
It's all kind of music. Like I kind of got a little old soul, so I'm listening to everything. Like it'll be one song, one game, one song, another game. And I'll play just one song the entire game, and I'm turned the whole game to that song. I might be singing it during the game, but that's just how I've always been.
You listen to all kinds of music pregame. One of them had to have been Return of the Mac, right? One of them.
No, I ain't listen to Return
of the Mac. Man. Oh, man.
No, I ain't listen to Return of the Mac.
I feel like that's one because that's a song that Anthony Smith walks out to in the UFC every fight. And I feel like that's always a feel-good song, but also it just gets your mind right a little bit. But
yeah, I might have to add that to the playlist. Now that you said I might have to add that.
Right. Like you got a whole another 10, 15 years of a career. So you got plenty.
Yeah, I might add that to the playlist. I'm remembering you saying that.
Now, this is a Colts-centered podcast, and we always want to put the spotlight on you guys. Now, there are a lot of Colts fans watching this that are already in love with you, man. You've already won us over. You won me over before we even hopped on here. The Indianapolis Colts organization pride themselves on character, on how you treat others, how you carry yourself, how you lead your teammates, how you treat people. And it was very emphatic yesterday in the press conference of their head coach. If you come to Indianapolis, right? If you come there, Jonathan Taylor's already here. And a guy who can sit behind him, who can catch the ball out of the backfield, maybe dress a little bit better than him. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor dresses pretty nice, but you may give him a run for his money. How do you think a tandem of Jonathan Taylor and Eric Gray could seem to the NFL? How do you think y'all mesh together? Y'all's game meshes together?
I think it's great. I think it's a thunder and lightning type of deal. You got Jonathan Taylor, who's a hard-nosed runner who runs downhill out of that Wisconsin offense, that ground and pound old school offense, that running the ball downhill, and he's good at it. He's good at what he does. And I think me being able to come in, be that change of pace back who can do it all, I think it allows you to have a tandem that's hard for defenses to match. That's hard for defenses to cover because you can't just plan for one guy. You got to plan for both guys. So I definitely think, and my sister lives in Indiana. She lives in Indianapolis, so she would be jumping for joy if that happened.
All right. Okay. That's good to know. Not the sister part or anything, but that's awesome, man.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike doesn't live in Indianapolis. I don't think any of us live in Indianapolis. So your sister's probably got the closest ties to the Colts there that any of us do. So, so one of the things to me is, as you're getting into the NFL, one of the biggest adjustment periods is pass protection, and that's a really strong thing that running backs need to have. Yep. How do you kind of view yourself as a pass protector, and just kind of the mentality you have towards that?
I think pass protection is kind of two things. You got to know where it's coming from. You have to know where the pass. If you see a guy kind of get ran over or get knocked off his feet, he didn't really know where it was coming from. He was kind of late to it. I think first is knowing where it's coming from. So knowing the blitzes, knowing who the line's sliding to, knowing where the slide side, the man side, knowing who you have. Because once you know who it has, then it's just about your base. If your base is right, you know what I'm saying, there's not much that a linebacker can do, because if he tries to run you over, you can just regather yourself and let the quarterback, just give the quarterback time to throw the ball. That's all pass protection is. It's giving the quarterback time to throw the ball. Quarterback has to get the ball out of his hands because he knows the blitz is coming. You just got to get in the way and fit him up so he doesn't get to the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Just get in the way.
You got to get in the way. You just got to, as long as you have a right base and you're in the right spot and you know where it's coming from, pass protection is easy.
All right. Back in college, I just want to know if there was any game out of all the schedules that you circled, it was like, this is the game that you locked in out of any other game. Was there like one key moment in college that you can remember that you experienced, probably like the it moment for you?
This past year or just any game in college?
Any year in general.
I think the game that kind of put me on the map that really helped me be who I was Vanderbilt my freshman year. Vanderbilt was the game that I kind of really solidified myself as who I was, solidified myself as Eric Gray, going out there as a freshman and going for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns against Vanderbilt my freshman year. It kind of showed everybody like, wow, like who is this number 3 that plays for Tennessee? And that's the game I think I really jumped on the scene.
That's special. That's special. I mean, I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think, like, what more could I ask Eric Gray? But then before we started recording, I mentioned I heard a little interview from the Senior Bowl that was asked to you, right? What would happen? So you get a toss to the right side. I'm the safety coming downhill. If you and I one-on-one, what's going to happen?
I get a toss to the right. You the safety coming down. I'm just gonna run past. I ain't even gonna do you bad because you got me on the podcast. You got me on the pod. You got me on the show. I'm not even gonna do you bad. I'm just gonna run past you, just give you a little peace sign and be like, I'm gonna holler at you, my boy, and I'm gonna just keep on going. I ain't even gonna do you bad like that on national television.
You know what's actually funny? That's probably what will happen because I'm not catching up to this man at all.
Yeah. I was gonna say Mike's probably the most unathletic of the 3 of us on the show. So you got a really good shot.
Mike's script don't read that.
His script don't say that.
Oh, I was about to say, like, deuces, like, damn, okay. At least I don't have a concussion. I don't have a broken collarbone. But
right, I ain't gonna do you crazy.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let you just go down to the ground. I'm just gonna keep on going.
My insurance card stays clean. No hospital.
Yeah.
One more question. Going back to Oklahoma, it's a big leadership thing because we always want to crack inside the mind of a prospect and see how they carry themselves, how they inspire their teammates, and everything. Heading to the combine, that's a big thing for you guys going down there, going to Indianapolis and getting in front of teams and scouts and everything. If there's one event at the combine, one drill that you're working on that you're saying, you know what, I think this can be the divider between me and other prospects, which drill would that be for you?
I want to say how smooth I am in the running back drills. Just how smooth and my ability to cut, my ability, like you said, my ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, just my ability to how smooth I play. I definitely think is gonna be a divider for me, just showing that I can do it all. You see me work out in shorts and it's just smooth. It's smooth. It's just like a knife through hot butter, just smooth running, smooth catching. Just everything I do is just smooth. It looks effortless, but I'm really trying to do it.
Landon, Marcus, did y'all have anything else?
Well, I've always kind of been curious because you hear the comparisons, and this is probably the last question I'll ask you. You hear the comparisons, between the SEC and of course the Big 12, the Big 10. You hear the comparisons between the conferences. You've been a running back, which is one of the most physical positions on the field in the Big 12 and in the SEC. What were some of the differences you saw going from one to the other?
I would say coming from in the Big 12, you catch a lot of fast guys. You catch a lot of DBs who are blazing fast in the Big 12. I say in the SEC, you catch a lot of freaks. Like you catch a lot of guys who are 6'7", 280 pounds who run 4.4, run 4.5 on that D line. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different league. Like the Big 12 is more speed. I feel like in the SEC, you've got big guys who can run fast. So I really feel like it's in the trenches. That's kind of the difference between the Big 12 and the SEC.
Too damn soon, Landon. Too damn soon.
Man, look, it's just something I've always wanted to know.
Read the room, man. Read the room. I still haven't recovered from January 9th. All right, I still haven't.
I just wanted to know. Like I said, Mike's a big TCU guy. Unfortunately, he had the pleasure of going up against Georgia, so he
it could be worse. I could be a Texas fan. It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. I ain't gonna do you like that.
Could go to Austin.
Ugh, nasty city. I hate it. But anyway, I live like 45 minutes away from it. But Marcus, did you have anything else?
It's just a pick one question. I'm not gonna go quarterback because you're a running back, so I'm gonna go with two running backs and you just pick one. Adrian Peterson or LaDainian Thompson?
I'm gonna go with LT. I'm gonna go with LT.
Let's get it.
The teardrop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, you know what? I think we're gonna get along just fine, man. I think we're gonna get along just fine. We're going down the right path here. We're going down the right path. Real quick, I'm not sure how many more questions. I believe they're out of questions. I just have one more pertaining to Oklahoma. They're gonna be all right, right?
Most definitely. Coach Venables is a great coach. Coach Venables, you don't really see a lot of guys at the college level, a lot of coaches that he's doing so much off the field for those guys that it's amazing that it has no choice but to reap the benefits. Like he cares about the entire person, not just you as an athlete. He cares about the entire self. So I think he's going to definitely get the program where it's been back to championships, and they're definitely going to be great.
And actually pertaining, it just popped up in my mind to talk about Big 12 and SEC. Oklahoma is transitioning to the SEC. And with that comes a lot of joking, mocking of Oklahoma. And I'm pretty sure you've endured it. You've seen it. You've seen it in the comments section and everything. As a player, going to be a professional, and you'll get that a lot as well if you jump into a rivalry and it's heated there. How do you, just ignore all of that? And when your phone is constantly bing, 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 and every time you open it, someone's trying to trash you. How do you stay grounded and clear from all that?
It's about you never get too high, you never get too low. That's kind of what it is. During the season, I deleted Twitter off my phone. Whether I had a great game or whether we lost, I never went on Twitter because I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it because it's just like you're reading it for no reason. You know who you are. You know how great you are. They can say it. It's good to hear them say it, but you know how great you are. You know how good you are. So it's not needed. I deleted it off my phone. I just didn't want to see it. I just wanted to be able to play my game and play it at a high level.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I assume, Landon, Marcus, you're done with questions? Okay. All right. I'm not entirely sure what more we can get with. I mean, I want this conversation to go on in hours and hours, but it's like, oh, man, we could go so on, but I know you are a busy man. You're chasing a dream right now, and you don't need to be talking with the Three Stooges on football. You got a dream to go chase, man, and some Gucci stuff to go buy, right?
For sure. That Louis V for sure.
Yeah, places to go, things to do, and people to see, right? Yeah, there you go. That's what famous people do. And while we're here, we go to sleep right after this. So, but other than that, Eric, man, congratulations on a great college career. Congratulations on, this journey, this opportunity to go through this journey. I wish you, I know Landon and Marcus, on behalf of the Blue Stable, if it's not the Colts, man, wherever you land, we're hoping for the best for you and all the health in the world and blessings and health for your family, man.
And I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for letting me be on the show.
Absolutely, buddy. Oklahoma running back Eric Gray joins the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back later in the week. We still got Quentin Johnston coming. We got guys like Tyler Scott. Eric's teammate, Braden Willis, is coming on the show. And we have a lot more draft prospects to talk with. And who knows, these guys could be coming to Indianapolis. We may not know, guys, but catch us here in the next couple of days. We'll have more for you guys. He is Landon. He is Marcus. Thank you. Big shout out again to Mr. Eric Gray for joining the show. We will see you later.